Hi guys, what's up? So today we start with a chapter called as board meeting. It is meetings of board and its powers. So there are part 1 and part 2 in our book, but ideally in the model it's only one part. Okay. So we start with board meeting and powers. So there are a lot of sections. It starts on section 173. It goes till 193. 94, 95 has been deleted by the government. I have not deleted it. Government has only deleted. Okay. So first we start with all the easy part. We start with first section 175. Resolution by circulation. Okay. Let's start. So it says resolution by circulation 175. Resolution by circulation. So now let me make you understand the concept, what exactly it is. So practically what happens whenever a company wants to take any decision, okay, so the board will meet, then they will take a decision, they will arrange for the food, they will arrange for the chair, the chai, tea, coffee, all those things will be arranged. So we need to do a lot of arrangements. So rather than calling the directors making so many arrangements, it's better you do one thing, you send a draft resolution to the director ka home. So when you send draft resolution to the director ka home, it is called as what? Resolution by circulation. What it is called as resolution by circulation. So it says the draft resolution along with necessary papers. The word is what? Draft resolution. Because we have not yet finalized. That's the reason we are writing the word draft resolution. So the draft resolution along with necessary papers should be circulated to all the directors and members of committee. Should be circulated to all the directors and members of the committee at the registered address. Oops. At the registered address either by hand or by post or by electronic mode. So should be circulated to all the directors. All means are all or members of any committee. For example, if you're talking about audit committee, so you'll send it to all the members of audit committee. If you're talking about nomination remuneration committee, then all the members of nomination remuneration committee. So it should be circulated to all the directors or the members and it should be approved by majority of directors. It should be approved by majority of directors or members who are entitled to vote on resolution, and it should be approved by majority of directors or members who are entitled to vote on resolution. Sir, what does this mean? And approved by majority of directors. Sir, what does this mean? See, in a company, if there are 10 directors, okay, in a company if there are 10 directors, so boss, you will send the draft resolution to whom? All 10. Oops. Babu. Yeah. You will send to all the 10. Out of 10, how many people should approve? So the line is majority. Majority should approve. When I say majority, so 10 ka majority will come at what? 10 ka majority will come at 6. 10 ka majority will come at what? 6. 10 ka majority will come at 6. Approved by majority of directors who are entitled to vote on resolution. Now, who are entitled to vote on resolution, I'll be teaching you some concept also. Just understand, if there are 10 directors, you will send to all the 10 directors, and out of that, majority will be approving. So out of 10, now 10 ka majority will come at 6. Okay, so 6 will give the approval. Okay. Then, if 1/3 of the total directors, boss, if 1/3 of the total directors require that the resolution to be passed at the board meeting, like if total director may say 1/3 of the directors say, boss, do one thing, don't circulate it. Don't circulate it. What do? You pass the resolution at the board meeting. Then the chairman will put the resolution at the board meeting instead of circulation. The resolution passed as above must be noted in the next board meeting and shall be made part of minutes. The resolution circulated as above shall be made in next board meeting and shall be made part of minutes. So if it is sent to all and approved by majority, that means it is approved basically. It is approved and shall be made part of minutes. Okay. Now, these are the examples. See. Company has 12 directors, boss. Company has 12 directors. It is circulated to 12 and is approved by 7. Is section 175 complied? You need to answer, is section 175 complied? Company has 12 directors, circulated to 12 and it is approved by 7. Is section 175 complied? The answer is yes, sir. Section 175 is compliant. Okay? Now, company has 12 directors. Abstained. Abstain means persons who are not entitled to vote. How many are there? 2. So how are they called as abstained directors? Like when they are interested director. What is interested director? I'll be teaching in some other section in after some time. Okay, but just understand interested director is called as abstained director because he cannot vote. See, people who have not come in the meeting, they are called as absent directors. Absent. People who have come in the meeting and they cannot vote, or maybe who are not entitled to vote, they are called what? Abstained director. So my question is, company has 12 directors, abstains are 2. So to how many people you have to send? Sir, you will send to how many people? 12. 12. And how many people will approve? How many people will approve? 12 minus 2 is 10. 10 ka half is 6. 6. 6 should approve. 6 should approve. So approval required is minimum 6 directors, that is 12 minus 2 is equal to 10, correct? Because abstent ko you have to ignore, you have to send to all, okay? 12 minus 2 will give you 10, 10 ka majority will be at 6. So section 175 is complied. Clear? So this is my first section 175, resolution by circulation, Now we move on to next section 176, very simple. 176, defective. What will you say? 176, defective. 176, defective. Imagine a director is appointed on 30th September 2018. So director is appointed at the AGM date and he is a director till the next AGM. 30th September 2018 and 20th August 2019, that is from next AGM. Okay. Now what happened? On 2nd Jan 19, his appointment became invalid. Maybe his DIN is cancelled. DIN, direct identification number. Or maybe he became Gajini, he became like Manjulika, Chandramukhi. Okay, he started getting attacked. So on this day, his appointment became invalid. So the question is, whatever action, whatever decision he has taken till this date, validity void. Whatever decision he has taken till this date, that is till the defect was notified, validity void. Sir, it will be valid. So all the decision will be valid and will be binding on the company. All the decision are valid and will be binding on the company. Post that, all the decision would be void. So till the defect is known, all the decisions, all the important thing, whatever decision he has taken will be valid and binding on the company. Post that, it is void. Section number is what? 176. 176, okay. Now what will you do? You will read 175 and 176 from the screen. People who have book, you can read it from the book or else read from the screen. I'm here only, okay. Read 175, resolution by circulation. 176, defective. Understood both the section 175 and 176. Now, next section what we're gonna do is 179. Powers of board. Powers of board. Okay. Now it says there are 14 powers of the board to be convened at a board meeting through a board resolution. That means these are the powers which mandatory has to be conducted at board meeting via board resolution. Mandatory. Now how these 14 are bifurcated? 11 in sections 3 are written in rules. 11 in section 3 are in rules. Sir, section of which act? Companies Act, year 2013. Okay. 11 section 3 rules. What it says? So first power to make call, like call ka money, first call, second call, final call. Number 2, to buy back the securities up to 10%, to buy back up to 10%, because above 10 it is member ka power till 25. Then to issue securities, to borrow money, to invest fund, to grant loan. Now how do you remember this? To make call karke what we did buyback of securities. Once we bought back, we issued a lot of securities, and after issue then we borrowed money, we got a lot of money, we invested and we granted loan also, we invested fund and we granted loan also. So this 6 are in sequence: call, buyback, issue, borrow, invest and grant loan. Then next 5 powers are this one: to approve financial statements and board report, to approve financial statements and board reports. Then to diversify the business of the company, to diversify the business of the company. Then madat means what? Madat is basically mergers, amalgamation, demergers, acquisition, takeover. So this two together we call as madat. Mergers, amalgamation, demergers, acquisition, takeover. Madat. Okay, and my favorite, any other. So these are the 11 powers which are written in section. This power mandatorily has to be done at board meeting by board of directors. That means it can't be done via circulation. Now, 3 powers of rules. These are 3 powers of rules. Number 1, political contribution. Number 1 is what? Political contribution. Number 2, appointment and removal of KMP. Appointment and removal of KMP. KMP means what? Key managerial person. Then third, appointing internal auditor and secretarial auditor. So political contribution, appointment and removal of KMP, then appointment of internal auditor and secretarial auditor. These 3 powers are also have to be done of the by the board of directors at board meeting by a board resolution. That means it can't be done by a circulation. So it's clearly written all 14 powers have to be done at board meeting via board resolution. All 14 powers mandatory has to be done via board meeting by board resolution by board of directors. Okay. However, powers in DEF, hold on, DEF. Borrow, invest, grant. क्या है? Borrow, invest, grant. These powers can be delegated to. Delegate means you can transfer it. Boss, you can transfer. You can transfer it to whom? Sir, you can transfer it to these people, 4 people. Committee of directors. First one is what? Committee of directors, or managing director you can delegate it to. Then principal officer or manager you can delegate it to, or principal officer of a branch. So you can delegate to committee of directors or managing director or a manager or a principal officer of branch. So DEF can be delegated to 4 people. This DEF can be delegated to 4 people. Then for section 8 companies, DEF can be done also by circulation. For which company, guys? Section 8 company. For section 8 company, DEF can be done via circulation also. For IFSC private and public company, all power can be done by circulation. Generally, we have been, I have taught you that we have to do all these powers mandatorily via board meeting, via board resolution, by board of directors. But 2 exceptions are there. Section 8 company ke liye you can do DEF via circulation, and IFSC public and IFSC private. IFSC means International Financial Service Center company. All these are government entities which is formed by the central government, SEBI and RBI. All these are like government entities. So they can do all the powers, right? Government entities. All this power can be done via circulation. Okay. So this is section number 179. Okay. Read 179 from the screen. Read. Understood? Cool. So we have done resolution by circulation. We have done 176, that's defects in appointment of the directors, that is 176. Then we did 179, powers of board. So all easy section we are doing right now. Now we are starting with section 174, that's called as quorum. 174 quorum. Now, so guys, quorum basically means minimum number of members required in order to constitute it as a valid meeting. Minimum number of members required in order to constitute as a valid meeting. Like for example, if I am calling a batch, I am there, at least 2 people should be there to start a batch. Then only it is called as a batch, right? So minimum this many person should be there in order to start it as a valid meeting. So quorum is what? Quorum is basically 1/3 of the total directors, 1/3 of the total directors in the company, or 2, whichever is higher. Always remember, quorum is always on the higher side. 1/3 of the total number of directors, or 2, whichever is higher. Like 2 people should be there now to have a meeting. So 1/3 of the total directors or 2 directors, whichever is higher. So you're calling a meeting. So sir, in meeting at least 2 or 1/3 of the total, whichever is higher, should be present. If that is present, then only it is a valid meeting. Then only you can start the meeting. Okay. Directors who are attending through video conferencing, people who have joined us through Zoom meeting or a Google Meet, they will also be counted for quorum. That's logical. They will also be counted for quorum. Now, if number of interested director, what it is? If number of interested directors is equal to or more than 2/3 of the total directors. If my number of interested directors. So in the question, check whether there is interested director. Yes, sir, there is interested director. And it is equal to how much? More than or equal to 2/3 of the total. Then I will not have my normal quorum. My normal quorum was 1/3 or 2, which is higher. I will not have that. I will have special quorum. How will I get special quorum? Number of uninterested director. Number of uninterested director or 2, whichever is higher. Number of uninterested director or 2 directors, whichever is higher. Let me just calculate for you. I mean, first let's understand what is interested director. See, interested director basically means, so this is the definition of interested directors. It's only for your reference to understand how do you calculate interested director. So this box what I have made is a definition of interested director. So AB is a director of AB Limited. I am the director of your company. Our company AB Limited is entering into transaction with Baby Limited. Baby Limited means any body corporate. Okay, wherein self, that means AB alone, or along with other directors, hold how much percent? Hold more than 2%, hold more than 2%, hold more than 2%, more than 2%, more than 2% of the paid up share capital of Baby Limited. Then if AB Limited and Baby Limited both are entering into a transaction where AB individual or along with my other directors, I am holding how much percent? More than 2% of Baby Limited. Then AB becomes what? Interested director. AB becomes what? AB and other directors become what? Interested director. Or where he is a promoter or a manager or CEO, where he is a promoter or a manager or a CEO. So either you put the stake or you hold a position. You put a stake, how much stake? More than 2%, not 2%, more than 2%. Or he is a promoter or a manager or a CEO. Acha. Now imagine AB is holding 1.5 and imagine PQ is holding 1, total 2.5 in Baby Limited. Now the question is, who is interested director? Sir, both are interested director. Why? Because the line is self plus other directors holding more than 2%. So to combining, I am holding more than 2%, right? We both are holding more than 2%. So we both are interested director. Imagine AB is holding 2.5%. AB is interested director. Okay. If AB is holding just 2%, nobody is interested. Why? Because the words are what? More than 2%. Words are what? More than 2% of the paid up share capital. You have to check more than 2%. Or if you talk about any other entity, see here we were talking about body corporate. Body corporate basically means company LLP. Here they are saying any other entity. Any other entity could be any other entity. It could be partnership firm, it could be HUF, it could be trust, it could be anything. So where AB is a partner or the owner or the member. Where AB is a partner or the owner or the member. So AB becomes what? AB becomes the interested director. AB becomes what? Interested director. So if you're an interested director, sir, what is the harm? There is no harm. Boys, always remember, if you want to be an interested director, bindas, sir, you be interested. No limit, no limit. Or all depend on stamina. You just need to disclose. What you need to disclose? Disclose that. She's mine. You just need to disclose. So it says if in the question they have given interested director, first check interested director, yes sir they have given, and if the number is more than or equal to 2/3 of the total, more than or equal to 2/3 of the total, then how much is my quorum? Number of uninterested director or 2, whichever is higher. Okay. Now it says if a person who is not interested at the time of entering into a contract, like I was not interested, but later on he acquires the interest, then he should disclose the interest at first board meeting held after acquiring the interest. Then he should disclose the interest at first board meeting held after acquiring the interest. You just have to disclose, okay. Then if board meeting is not held due to lack of quorum, if quorum is not achieved, then the board meeting is adjourned by 1 week, to the same time, same place, same day, which is not a national holiday, else next day, unless our states otherwise. So generally if the quorum is not achieved, board meeting would be adjourned by 1 week to the same day, same place, same time, which is not a national holiday. If it is a national holiday, the next succeeding day, which is not a national holiday, unless our state otherwise. If our states that we can have a board meeting, we can have an adjourned board meeting on a national holiday, then it is allowed. Generally it is not allowed, but if our states, then it is allowed. Okay. Then section 174, that is quorum, is not applicable to OPC where there is only one director. Logical na, 174 not applicable to OPC where there is only one director. Arey boss, to have a meeting you need two people na. Then section 8 company ka quorum, it says 8 directors or 1/4 of the total, whichever is lower. Generally we say which is higher. Okay, it is 8 directors or 1/4 of the total, whichever is lower, subject to 2 directors. 8 directors or 1/4 of the total, whichever is lower, subject to 2 directors. 8 directors or 1/4 of the total, whichever is lower, subject to 2 directors. Okay. Then so generally if you are an interested director, you cannot vote because you are abstained from voting. However, in case of private companies, interested director can vote and therefore counted in the quorum. So generally interested directors are never counted for quorum because they cannot vote. But in case of private company, if you are interested director, then you can vote also, and once you have voted, you will be counted for quorum. Same way IFSC public and private company, directors can give vote and thus counted in quorum. So these are the two exceptions for interested director. Generally interested director cannot vote and therefore not counted for quorum. But in case of a private company, they can vote and therefore they can be counted for quorum also. Now see the illustration. Total directors are 12. Can we check the quorum? So normally you will talk about normal quorum. Sir, 1/3 of total or 2, whichever is higher. 3 1 ja 3 4 ja. So 4 or 2, whichever is higher. 4 is my answer. 4 is my answer. Check out. Quorum is 4. So like this question they can ask you in exam. Huh? Now total directors are 12, attended 5. Is quorum achieved? So total directors are 12. Now total directors are 12. So quorum should be 4. 5 have attended the meeting. Minimum 4 should attend, but 5 have attended. Quorum is achieved. Minimum 4 should attend. Na? 5 have attended. So quorum is achieved. So you'll do the calculation. Then total directors are 12, interested are 9. Total are 12, interested are 9. So question may if interested directors are there. So it says if number of interested directors is more than or equal to 2/3 of the total. Interested director is 9, should be more than or equal to 2/3 of the total. 3 1 ja 3 4 ja. Okay. So 9 is more than or equal to 8. 9 is more than or equal to condition satisfied. So we'll go for special quorum. What is my special quorum? Sir, number of uninterested director or 2, whichever is higher. How do you get uninterested? Total में से interested or 2. So 3 or 2, which is higher? 3. Ideally the answer should be 3. Check out 3. Quorum is 3. So first you need to satisfy the condition. Okay, first we need to satisfy the condition. Now total directors are 12, interested is 11. So condition satisfied, it's logical, you can see it. Boss, number of interested director should be more than or equal to 2/3 of the total. 11 is more than or equal to 8. Condition satisfied. So my quorum would be special quorum. Special quorum is 12 minus 11 or 2, whichever is higher. 1 or 2, which is higher? 2. But only one is uninterested. One is only uninterested. So it says, since there would be only one uninterested director, then he has a right. He has a right to appoint what? One additional director. Then he has a right to appoint whom? One additional director. He will appoint one additional director or shift the power to members in general meeting. See, one uninterested director cannot do anything. So he has to appoint either one additional director or shift the power to the members in general meeting. Members will appoint. Okay. Then law says quorum is to be checked at the start of the meeting. At the start of the meeting. And at every item of agenda. Agenda basically means the decision what the company gonna take. So quorum is to be checked at the time of the meeting and at every item of agenda. Quorum has to be checked at the start of the meeting and at every item of agenda. See the question here. So sir, there are 12 directors. Meeting is attended by 10 and there are 10 items of agenda. There are 10 items of agenda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 10 items of agenda. There are 12 directors. Let's check the quorum. Sir, quorum mein quorum 1/3 of the total or 2, whichever is higher. 3 1 ja, 3 4 ja. 4 or 2, which is higher? 4 is my quorum. So 4 should be my quorum. 4 should be my quorum. Then it says meeting is attended by 10. Meeting is attended by 10. So 4 should attend, 10 have attended. So quorum achieved. Quorum achieved. So quorum has to be checked when? Sir, at the start of the meeting. So we checked at the start of the meeting. So they are saying that 10 items of agenda after discussing 5 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is still here. After discussing 5 items, what happened? 7 directors left. 7 directors left. So only 3 are left now. 7 directors went somewhere. Only 3 are left. How much should be my quorum? 4. Only 3 is left. So what will you say? Sir, meeting is valid. Meeting is valid. The first 5 decisions are also valid because quorum was achieved. However, item number 6 to 10 are invalid. Item number 6 to 10 is invalid because quorum was not there. See, quorum has to be checked at the start of the meeting and every item of agenda. So practically also when we are discussing every item, we check the quorum again. So in item number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, quorum was achieved, but in 6 to 10, quorum was not achieved. So you will say, applying the above provision, 5 items are valid as quorum was present and balance 5 are void. Balance 5 are void. So understand, quorum has to be checked at the start of the meeting and at every item of agenda. Clear? Then, important points. The only method, this can be used in like MCQ part or maybe like objective part. The only method of voting in board meeting is show of hands. You only do it by show of hands. Voting by poll cannot be used in board meeting. Except where the act requires unanimous resolution. Unanimous means basically 100%. There are 2 sections where we require 100% approval of the board. Question arising at board meeting should be decided by majority of votes. So questions arising at board meeting should be decided by majority of votes. Except where the act requires unanimous. Except where it is written 100%. Everywhere when we say board resolution, it means majority. Then only directors who are present in the meeting and vote on the resolution are considered while determining majority. That is absent. Absent means people who have not come. Abstain means people who have come but they cannot vote. Interested director are not considered. In case of equality of votes, in case of tie, chairman will have a second vote. That is called as casting vote. A director cannot appoint a proxy because here proxy ka concept is not there. Proxy ka concept is there only in the members committee. A director cannot appoint a proxy. Even the articles cannot empower a director to appoint a proxy. Then, a secretary has no authority to call a board meeting on his own. The board should decide themselves by a majority that we want to call a board meeting. Board meeting will be held, can be held anywhere in India or even outside India. Board meeting can be held anywhere in India or even outside India. Board meeting may be held even on national holiday. See, adjourn board meeting cannot be held on a national holiday unless articles provide otherwise. So board meeting can be held in India, outside India. It can be held even on a national holiday, not on a national holiday. It may be held even after business hours, during business hours also, after business hours also. Business hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Business hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The condition is only on the adjourned board meeting. Adjourned board meeting can be held only on any day except national holiday. Adjourned board meeting. Understood? So all these small pointers are there in section number 174. Take your own sweet time and read entire 174. It's a lengthy section. Okay, I'll scroll from the screen. In the meantime, people read from the book. Okay, take your own sweet time. Read. Done hai? Cool. So we have done one more section. It's section 174 that talks about your quorum. Okay. Now we move on to section 173. We call this as 173 frequency. Go with the sound. 173 frequency. Frequency of the board meeting. Frequency of board meeting. Now see, when I say board meeting, it is basically board of directors meeting. Okay. So first meeting, like first meeting of the board of directors should be held within how many days? Within 30 days of incorporation. Within 30 days of incorporation. Like since the time the company got incorporated, within 30 days you need to conduct one board meeting. Mandatory it is a subsequent board meeting. Sir, minimum 4 board meetings every year. Minimum 4 board meetings every year and max gap between 2 board meetings. Max gap between 2 board meetings can be 120 days. See, I'm not saying gap has to be there. Gap can be there. Max gap between 2 board meeting can be like 120 days. Sir, today first ko we had meeting, 10th ko we have meeting, 20 ko we have meeting, 30 ko we have board meeting. Good. Because it says max gap can be 120 days. Na? Max gap. Here so we are keeping less gap. Okay. For minimum 4 board meetings we have to have every year. Okay, sir, we have conducted 10 board meetings. Allowed. 7 board meetings. Allowed. 3 board meeting. Not allowed. In a year we have to conduct minimum 4 board meetings and the gap between 2 board meetings can be 120 days. Gap should not be there. Gap can be 120 days. Okay. Sir, can the gap be less than 120? The answer is yes. Can the gap be more than 120? No, it says max gap. Max gap. Every word is important. Okay. However, the CG can give exemption to certain class of companies. Maybe like Section 8 company, maybe like OPC, you can have a different board meeting. Right now, this is a rule for normal companies. Okay. Now, how you can attend the meeting? Some members can attend the meeting in. So, you can attend in person or the video conference or other audio video mode. Okay. Zoom session you can attend. Google Meet you can attend. Then, the chairman and the CS are responsible. The chairman and the CS are responsible for all the arrangements, safeguarding the integrity of the meeting and the storage of minutes. So, the chairman and the CS. Chairman and CS is responsible for all the arrangements, safeguarding the integrity of the meeting, storage of the minutes of the meeting. Okay, chairman and the CS. Then, only a director can attend a board meeting. What will you say? Only a director can attend a board meeting. Means proxy cannot attend. Proxy cannot attend. But if you have a differently abled person, like somebody who can't talk, okay, who can't see, if there's a differently abled person, the board may allow a person to accompany. So he can bring one more person along with him. Generally, like for example, my kid is there. He says, Papa, let's go to a board meeting. I want to take my Santa to the board meeting. Sir, not allowed. Only a director can attend a board meeting. However, if you are a differently able person, then board may allow any person to accompany him. Okay. Then the draft minutes should be circulated to all the directors at least 15 days, within 15 days of the board meeting in writing or electronic mode. So draft minutes should be circulated to all within 15 days of the board meeting. Draft minutes should be circulated to all within 15 days of the board meeting. Clear? Then roll call to be taken at every board meeting. Roll call means like attendance. Whoever is present, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. So roll call should be taken at the board meeting. Then notice of board meeting should be given in writing to all the directors. How many days before? Sir, at least 7 days before the board meeting. Sir, if there is a meeting, you need to call them. Director, come now. There's a meeting. So you will not call like this. You have to give them notice. So notice of the board meeting should be given in writing to all the directors at least how many days before? At least 7 days before the board meeting. At least 7 days before the board meeting at the registered address, whether in India or outside India. Wherever the registered address is, you have to give the notice there, either by hand or by post or by any other electronic mode. Either by hand or by post or by electronic mode. Sir, shorter notice not allowed. Generally, there has to be a gap of at least 7 days before the board meeting. Guys, at least 7 days before. At least 7 days before. That is minimum 7 days. Can we keep a gap of 10 days? Yes, sir. 4 days not allowed. Shorter notice not allowed. What will you say? Sir, shorter notice not allowed. Then, however, it says, however, shorter notice is allowed if independent director is present at the meeting. However, a shorter notice is allowed if independent director is present at the meeting. However, if no independent director is present, then the decision to be circulated to all and ratified by one independent director. Generally, for MCQ purpose, we will say shorter notice not allowed, not allowed, not allowed. Shorter notice, guys, not allowed. However, it is allowed if independent director is present at the meeting. Okay, if ID is not present, then what will you do? You will circulate the decision to all, and it should be ratified by one independent director. You will circulate it to all, and it should be ratified by one independent directors. Then director attending through video conferencing, okay, intimation to be given at the beginning of the calendar year, and that decision will be valid for one calendar year. Like I want to attend the meeting via video conference, so CS please make the arrangements. So I can give that intimation in the beginning of the calendar, and that decision would be valid for one calendar year. That decision would be valid for one calendar year. If the notice of board meeting is not given, then how much is the penalty? Every officer penalty is 25,000 rupees. Every officer penalty is of 25,000 rupees each. 25,000 rupees each. Then this is very different point. OPC small dormant startup private company, guys. 4 companies. OPC small dormant startup private company. So for you guys, there has to be one board meeting in each half of the calendar year. One board meeting in each half of the calendar. That means Jan to June ka one meeting, July to December ka one meeting. Okay, and there has to be minimum gap of 90 days. That means I can't keep a meeting on 30th June and 1st July. No, I can't, because line says the minimum gap is 90 days. Minimum gap is 90 days. Here the gap was maximum gap was 120 days. Max gap can be 120 days. Max gap can be 120. यहाँ पर क्या है? Minimum gap is 90 days. Minimum is 90 days. Boss, if OPC has only one director, logical it is. OPC with one director, no board meeting. APC with more than one director, two board meeting. Two board meeting, na? One board meeting in each half of the calendar year basically means two board meetings, correct? Generally 4 board meetings. OPC 2 board meetings. OPC with no director, no board meeting. Logical, na? OPC with only one director, boss, to have a meeting, you need somebody with whom you will do meeting, correct? For Section 8 companies, an IFSC private and public company, one board meeting in 6 calendar months. Gap wala thing is not there. Gap wala thing is not there. Just one board meeting in 6 calendar months. Minimum gap ka criteria is not there. Then for IFSC companies, first board meeting should be conducted within 60 days of incorporation. Generally we say 30 days of incorporation, but for IFSC it is 60 days of incorporation. So these are the exceptions generally where they can test you in like 1 or 2 mark ka answer mein. What if it is OPC? What if it is small? Normal it is first board meeting within 30 days. Subsequent board meeting, 4 board meetings every year. Max gap 120 days. Okay, but OPC small dormant startup, one board meeting in each half of the calendar year. Minimum gap 90 days. OPC with with one director, no board meeting. Section 8 company, one board meeting in 6 calendar months, no gap ka condition is there. Section number is what? 173 frequency. 173 frequency. 173 frequency. Read. Understood? So we have done section 173, that is called as frequency, then we did 174, that is called as quorum, then 175 resolution by circulation, then we did 176 defective, then we did 179 powers of board, Now we are doing 180. Now we are doing charitable contribution, political contribution, 181 and 182. 181 and 182. Now see. So both are linked, but both are different concepts. 181 section says donation to charitable or notified fund, etc. Donation to charitable or notified fund. That is basically charitable contribution. Now when you read the heading of 182, 182 says political contribution. Political contribution. That means you are giving donation here for political contribution. Specifically for what? For political contribution. So 181 is charitable contribution, 182 is political contribution. So generally it says company can make charitable contribution with no limit. There is no limit. If you want to give whatever money you want to give for charity, it is allowed. No limit, no limit, no limit. But if the donation exceeds how much? 5% of the average net profit of the 3 financial years. If the donation is more than 5% of the average net profit of the 3 financial year, first you will take 3 financial year net profit, then you will remove the average, and whatever the answer you get, and if you want to give donation of more than that amount, then what do you require? You require prior general meeting resolution is required. What do you require, guys? Prior general meeting resolution. What do you require? Prior general meeting resolution is required. So as such, there is no prohibition, there is no limit by prohibition. It just says if your amount of contribution is more than 5% of the average net profit of the last 3 years, 5% of the average net profit of the last 3 years, then you require prior general meeting resolution. That means members ka approval is required. You are giving member ka money, give now. Just take their approval. 182. 182 says prohibition on the political contribution. So company can make political contribution, no limit, whether directly or indirectly, no limit. Whatever money you want to give, no limit. Disclosure should be mandatory in the penal account. What you have to give? You have to state the amount. You have to state the amount of the political contribution, how much political contribution you are giving. Okay, you have to state the amount in the PNL. Okay, it can be done only by passing board resolution, board meeting. You remember that? 179 powers of board. 179 powers of board. Political contribution, 3 powers of rules. Political contribution can be done only by board resolution in the board meeting. That means it can't be done by a circulation. Then companies prohibited from political contribution. 2 companies are prohibited. A government company, and number 2, a company which exists for less than 3 financial. A government company is prohibited from political contribution. Number 2, a company which is in existence for less than 3 financial year. So 2 companies are prohibited from political contribution. Government company and company which is in existence for less than 3 financial year. These 2 companies cannot make political contribution. Now if you have contravened, how much is the penalty? Here the amount they have not given for penalty, they have given the times. So company up to 5 times of the political contribution, officer same penalty up to 5 times of the amount of the political contribution, and up to 6 months ka imprisonment, and up to 6 months ka imprisonment, okay. Now the contribution under this section shall be made except shall not be made except on a account pay check drawn on a bank or account pay bank draft or electronic system. That means cash may you can't make, it has to be via bank transfer. A company may make a contribution through any other instrument, maybe as per in future, if government has notified any such scheme like GPay is allowed, but right now online is allowed, okay. Then this is the definition of a financial year. Only for your reference, it is basics of your intermediate syllabus, but it is only for your reference. It says if a company is incorporated before 31st December, the financial year ends on the coming 31st March, like after 3 months. If the company is incorporated on or after 1st Jan, then the financial year will end on not the coming 31st March, like after the following year 31st March, that means the next year 31st March. Sir, why are we doing this? Because of this line, company in existence for less than 3 financial year. Now when I say financial year, if the question says company is incorporated on 28th December, 28 December 22. So 20 December 22 to 31st March 23. This is my one financial year. Then 1st April 23 say 31st March 24. This is my second financial year. 1st April 24 to 31st March 25. This is my third financial year. If all these 3 years get over, then only I can make charitable contribution. Now imagine if the company gets incorporated on 2nd Jan 2023. 2nd Jan 23. So my first financial year would end on 31st March 24. This is my first financial year. Then 1st April 24 to 31st March 25. This is my second financial year. Then 1st April 25 to 31st March 26. This is my third financial year. So because of this word less than 3 financial year, and if you are a company which is incorporated for less than 3 financial year, you can't make charitable contribution. So that is the reason we have written it here. See, the only problem is of year of incorporation. If it is second, third financial, it is April to March. Only problem is of the first financial when the company gets incorporated. Okay. So charitable contribution was 81, no limit, any amount you can do. Only if it is goes beyond 5% and like above 5% of the average net profit, you require prior general meeting resolution. 182 political contribution is very clear. Any amount you can give, only disclosure you need to make. Okay. Two companies are prohibited. Number one, government company. Number two, company which is in existence for less than 3 financial year. That is 181 and 182. Cool. Read quickly. 181, 182. Read. Anish? So 181 was charitable contribution, 182 was political contribution. Very simple. 183. So let's do one more section so that we all things get connected with each other. Okay. Power of the board and other person to make contribution to national defense funds, etc. So the board of directors of any company or any person or any authority exercise the powers of the board of directors of a company or of the company in GM. That means board can do it, members can in general meeting can do it, may contribute such amount as it think fit to the national defense fund or any other fund as up by the CG for the purpose of national defense fund. So you can delegate it to somebody, you can do it by your own board, you can give it to the members, okay, you can do it on your own. Anything can happen because you are contributing for the national defense fund. Now for the government you are contributing, so every company shall disclose in the P&L the amount or the amounts so contributed to the by to the fund during the financial year to which such amount relates. So you need to just disclose in the P&L. So no rule, no board power, no member, anything can happen. Board can contribute, board can delegate it to the committee of the board of directors, they can give it to the members, anybody can contribute. Okay. So this is basically National Defense Fund. Contribution to National Defense Fund section is 183. 183. Okay. Read. Very simple section 183. Finish? Cool. So quickly recall whatever section we have done. We did with 173, that is frequency of board meeting. Then we did 174 quorum, 175 resolution by circulation. We did 176, that is defective. Then 177, 78 pending, 179 powers of board, 180 pending, 181 charitable contribution, 82 political contribution, 83 national defense fund. Till here we have done. Okay. I think 2 to 3 more classes will take, probably no, we'll take more classes for that. But I hope you have understood whatever concept we have done. Cool. So by the time we move on to the next class, you keep on recalling, just read the content whatever we have done once before we move on to the next session. Okay. Chalo, bye guys, take care, and aim for a rank or 70 plus, which is earlier. We'll meet very soon in the next class. Bye guys, take care.